Yeah. But definitely love is, let's be honest, like love and heartbreak, that's like a multi-billion industry.
No one has ever said it like that. Yes, that's true. It's a multi-billion industry.
Yeah.
Because everyone relates to that.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
It's real.
Yo, what's up, and welcome to episode 46 of the greatest podcast to ever exist. Yes, I'm talking about the 30% podcast, hosted by yours truly, and I have not forgotten, Sam.
Thank you.
And today we have a special episode because we are joined by the amazing, the super talented Ethan Muziki and Kinoti. Yo,
What's an intro?
let's go.
Quite an intro. Never as hype for me as you are for this guy. I'll take mad offense.
I'm always hype,
Mad
Sam.
offense.
I'm always
Take
hype.
offense, Afam. Take offense.
I'm not gonna. Yes, actually, you know what? Yes, I'm taking offense. But yo, thank you guys so much for joining us. How are you guys?
I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm easy. It's cold though.
it's cold. It's weird because
Cold
yesterday was
day.
really nice, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the
And
weather
then
was dope.
today it's completely different. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. Nairobi does that, unfortunately.
It
Or
does.
fortunately.
It's very bipolar.
Unfortunately.
October is usually mad though. Like October, you just have to be prepared for like crazy
Anything.
weather. Yeah.
Oh, there
Yeah.
wasn't there supposed to be like an El Nino, but they said it's not happening anymore.
I feel like every year there's supposed to be one. Every single year they tell us that there's going to be one. And
And then it doesn't.
And then
It doesn't
just
happen.
I mean, yeah.
would you rather be in cold weather or hot weather?
Cold weather.
Constantly cold.
Constantly cold for me.
You're the sweater gang.
Ooh, I think warm.
Warm.
Hot.
I mean,
If I had to
with-
choose
Yeah.
hot, yeah. Because whenever like the weather is too cold, it's like I'm too lazy to work. I just wanna, like retain
Hide.
all my heat.
I am with Ethan because why
Yeah.
would I want to be in cold
Man,
weather? You know what I mean? Warm weather. Guy.
Okay.
For real.
Okay.
Yeah.
But still though, there's just something aesthetically pleasing about the cold. That's it for me. Like
Yeah.
it's just so chill, so vibey, so cool.
Yeah.
It's just like a Sunday afternoon but rainy. I don't know.
A Sunday afternoon, but rainy.
Yeah.
I like it. That sounds like the title to your next EP. A Sunday.
Sunday afternoon,
afternoon,
right after little messages.
Then
yes.
there has to be a comma in there.
Yeah.
Just so it feels more artsy. You know what I mean? And then but
boy.
rainy.
But rainy.
Yeah, but yo, how you guys? But you guys have been killing it like of late.
You guys
man.
must feel like superstars now.
For real,
You must
bro.
feel like
you guys are
superstars.
shutting down
You must.
venues, man.
Well,
You must.
How did that whole experience feel? I feel like, just seeing it on the phone, I was like, bro, I didn't even know it was this crazy. And then just seeing all those people and just them just being absolutely in awe of both of you. It was crazy to see. So how does that feel?
man.
Like, do you feel like how does that feel?
First off, man, the love is crazy.
Yeah.
Like that's one constant thing. Just seeing people appreciate what you're doing in levels to which I think sometimes I don't even understand. Like people align my music to their lives, align our music to their lives. And it's just crazy that people resonate with it that much to the point that they show up and sing every word of every song that we put out. It's just a different level of love. I think it's the most beautiful and overwhelming feeling to have. Just like seeing these people do this constantly over and over again, man. It's such a beautiful, beautiful thing.
yeah, definitely. It's very sublime, and I don't know. I think there's just also, with like that particular instance, the silent one, it was a bit bittersweet because people really showed up. I don't even know. People showed up.
Yeah.
You were.
I get you.
Like speechless. But the bitter part is that we couldn't like give them the full experience. But now the sweet part is we couldn't give them the full experience because they had shut down the whole mall. So I don't even know. I don't know. But it's just it's a very beautiful feeling. Yeah.
No, that is, and how does it feel like seeing people sing the words that you wrote down? Like, for me, okay, me and Sam, we're producers, so it's usually crazy when sometimes you're out and then you hear a beat that you made in your room and you're
especially
like, wow.
in a matatu. You're riding a matatu and your song comes on, it's like that's the ultimate.
It's crazy. Or you see like somebody play a song in a DJ set and you're like, wow, you just made that. But how does it feel? But I feel like for you guys it's even crazier.
It's deeper because some of these people like hold on to their lives are they almost pattern their emotions and stuff after the song, especially because you two write very emotional music, so they pattern their love lives and everything. How do you feel being responsible for
I mean,
all of that?
Genuinely, like we're writing soundtracks to people's lives, I remember I had this experience one time. So, okay, sometimes like when I think about the experiences that make me feel like, wow, this is generally what I want to do for the rest of my life. They are not even driven by money. Like, it's not like gigs where I've been like paid good money or whatever. It's an experience like this one time I had. I was on a date, the boy doing his thing, And then, so the lady went to, I don't know, like powder her nose, sama wanasemanga nini,
Touch up. She wants to touch up.
Touch up to kidogo, So I'm left alone on the table, just on my phone and nini. And then someone from the adjacent table came over and he was like, hi, are you Ethan? Yeah, I'm Ethan. How you doing? I'm okay. And then he actually said, just wait there. He went back to the table, took a phone and ilikuwa na earphones. So he gave me like one side of the earphones. And apparently him and his date, they were listening to my song together. Crazy. So like they have, like different sides of the earphones. And it was just, wow. It was just, I don't know, like a crazy experience imagining that they're spending quality time listening to something that I wrote just, like in my room, just expressing myself, and to them, they relate to it in such a huge level.
Did that affect once the lady came back from the from powdering? Were you like, listen, I'm a different guy now. This is this is a different guy on a date with. It's not the same guy.
No, this is not the same guy.
Oh, that's dope.
Get me flowers.
Have you had any such moments, Kinoti?
Yeah, I think it happens often. But one that stuck out to me was, I think like a year or two back.
Okay.
I was just like scrolling on Insta. And then I see this one request that was a long ass message. Like it was a proper
life
long
story.
message. Yeah, like it was an actual, like you had to scroll through that cap space that Insta gives you to just like see more. And this person was just like telling me how hard the past year had been for them, and what my song Safe Space did for them, just like helping them.
That's my
like,
favorite song.
Man,
sorry.
I think I broke down just like reading through, because they were just like giving experiences of what they had gone through and how they managed to like interact with the song. I think it's someone who shared it with them when they were like feeling suicidal or something. And this person just like reassured them, you know what, like, don't worry, I'll be there, I'll be a safe space. And this person quite literally said, thank you for just being part of the people who saved my life. And that stuck with me for days. I was just like,
crazy.
you know what?
That's
that hit me deep.
Does that make you feel more responsible?
Yeah, do you feel like a weight on your
when you're
shoulder
going
now?
in writing now? Because when you start, you're just, I'm doing this music thing because I love it. But then when people start coming up to you like, yo, you saved my life. And does that make you go, and does that affect your pen in any way? How you...
It's I don't know. It does something for sure. I can't say what exactly. Like I wouldn't know exactly.
Or maybe you've not
what
figured it out yet.
Yeah, I haven't figured it out yet. But it just like makes me see that one, there's more people viewing it as of this moment. It means more to people now than maybe it did then, or it means more to a whole to a bigger number of people than it did then, which now just makes me try to maybe attack it in different angles and just like be more intentional with what I say.
Yeah.
Damn. Bro, me, I would be, I'd be now stressing over like what.
Oh, man.
Because man, that's a huge weight. Like, I mean, you have to be really. Do you feel like now you have to be way more intentional now? When you write stuff, like, or do you just say, you know what, I'm just gonna write whatever comes out of that?
And I think that's the burden of creativity too, right? Mm-hmm. Because when you're creating and then meaning is attached to your creativity, sometimes you want to follow that path and be like, okay, since this is the meaning. It's why a lot of people lose their way when they start making music, because they're making music and then people start, maybe they do something completely left. Like you're making love songs and all of a sudden you make a club song or something that goes crazy, and then everyone gravitates toward that. Now you want to stick in that lane. So now for people who stick to like safe, they stick to that and they're like, this is, now when you want to make a song about your Sunday afternoon, then you start overthinking it and rethinking. It's like, okay, man, but are they going to listen to this? Is that something that affects you, or you just stay in my lane? I'm going to keep, whoever comes, whoever doesn't. How does that work?
So the line, okay, I don't know. I feel for me, I usually just tend to write whatever feels right in the moment. Because maybe I feel like that's also part of what people like, just you trying in the best way to find words that show your authentic self.
Yeah.
And maybe that's also what they gravitate towards, just the fact that you're writing your own stories.
Yeah.
Sometimes there are songs that I write that are extremely personal. Like I have a song in the very first verse, I'm saying I don't like traveling by air. Like that's the first line of the song, and it's just about me, but you'd find there's someone else. It might even just be one other person who also just doesn't, like, is afraid, gets super anxious when they're on the plane, and they're like, Ethan too? Oh wow, okay. I actually relate to that,
Yeah.
So I feel like I usually just tend to try to just tell my experiences and hope that I can at least touch someone else in one way or the other. So even if I decide to write maybe something a bit more up-tempo, vibes, I can only hope that they would also still enjoy that, because it's still part of the experiences that make me who I am,
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Interesting.
No, that makes sense. And so just to pivot a bit, so obviously we've kind of started like with the now, what's happening now. And did you guys ever envision like things would be, and obviously you guys have way more to do, but did you ever envision that things would happen the way they have when you guys started? Like, was this like, did you ever picture that you would be able to shut down a whole venue? Or even when you guys, we came for your listening party, little messages, like I was seeing people singing every single word, like word for word. Like, did you ever like envision it like way back then, like it would become this huge thing right now?
It's super funny to answer this question, because for me, I'd say honestly, I kind of knew, but not with my songs. So just to give context, I started writing in 2019.
Yeah.
Before then, for me, I couldn't write to save my life. Like I honestly could not write. I had tried it didn't work. I was like, nope. So in my head, I knew I'd be a cover artist. Like I knew I'd go the Conor Maynard and the whoever's that direction. And I knew maybe I'd make it big on like YouTube and just like, that was what was popping in like 2019, 2018, those ages.
Yeah.
So for me, I was like, I'd probably be like big doing other people's songs.
Yeah.
But I really didn't see how people would sing my songs, because at that time, very honestly, I didn't even write.
Yeah.
But is that something that you wanted though? Like would you have wanted people to sing your songs rather than? Is it just like you just accepted the fact that maybe this is what I'm doing and it is what it is? Or had you dreamt about it?
I dreamt about writing, honestly. Like I to date, I think I was even having the conversation with Ethan yesterday. Yeah. Writing fascinates me. It's part of the process that I might not like the most, but looking at people doing it and just like hearing what the thought process is behind it drives me nuts.
Yeah.
So just being able to do that personally was something I really wanted to do. And just like, okay, for my first project, it was just like heartbreak stories, just what I went through, very, very honestly, just me finding a channel of just expressing the kind of disappointment, the pain, everything. And seeing people relate to that, first of all, was just like what picked me up from the brokenness that I felt at that time. Because people are telling me it's good, yes, but it grew over time. And I was just like, there's more people who felt the way I did. And it made me feel valid for feeling the way I did. So it's something that I wanted. And I didn't know how to achieve it. But when it happened, I was just like, thank heavens. Thank heavens. I actually got here, yeah.
That's cool.
Okay. I mean, I am in like a completely different space. I've been writing since I was like 13.
Okay.
If I can remember, back in primary school, I used to write and perform those songs, not just write them. I'd perform in front of the class. I'd be like, yo, nimeandika wimbo mpya, yo. Yeah, so I don't know. I have always felt like this is specifically what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And genuinely, I've also always just seen myself as a superstar. And I've just been like, stadiums, you know. But in terms of how fast things have been happening, I don't think I had seen that coming. You know, like the saddest thing, having our own shows and selling those out, and I didn't expect that to happen in the time frame that they have happened.
Because for both of you guys, like I feel like it's been this post-COVID thing. This is when you guys have both really like gotten
Flourished.
into flourished. That's the word.
Yeah.
So things have happened like pretty quickly.
Yeah. When you think about it, because my first single was in 2021 as a solo artist.
Wow.
So
that's funny because my first project was also in 2021. 2021 May.
Yeah.
That was my first ever release.
So before 2021, I guess then you were with Jadi, right?
Yeah, so I was with Jadi. Well, and Jadi was so anyone who might not be in the know,
familiar.
I was part of a band.
Okay.
Back in the days, there were three of us. And we were signed. It was a very beautiful experience. I feel like when we were signed, I was a bit naive. I was still naive. I was like straight from campus. But there was a certain, for lack of a better, like there's a certain purity in how I was approaching like the industry. I wasn't even thinking about the business. I just want to write songs. I want to release the songs. Now, to be honest, I feel like to some extent, like the industry has kind of corrupted me a bit. Like sometimes I'd write a song and I'd be like, hey, what are feminists going to think about this? You know, like, are they going to cancel me? You know,
the industry gets to everyone.
Yeah. But at that time, I was just writing.
Yeah.
It was just, you know. But anyways, there's a lot of growth that came from that period. But yes, I was with Jadi for, I think, a year and a half.
A year and a half.
Yeah.
Okay.
What led to you leaving? I don't say leaving and make it sound like a bad thing. What led to you deciding to go on a solo career? That sounds more palatable, I guess.
I just creative differences, and like I wanted to kind of be fully in charge of every single thing that's happening.
Yeah.
You know, when you're in a group, they obviously
There's
a
two
lot of
other voices.
compromises. Yeah. You have to compromise, here and there, and so I don't know. I felt like it would be slightly easier if I could have a bit more creative freedom.
Yes.
And luckily, I just had the conversation with the boys, and we're still amazing friends to date, because they we just had like a mature conversation, and they understood, and they are still making amazing music actually to date. Yeah.
I saw they released something with the Watenda Willie.
Yeah, with Watenda
recently.
Willie. Yeah.
Okay, that's fire. And that was under the whole King Kaka thing.
Yeah.
So you bring up an interesting topic because obviously we love to talk about this whole industry stuff because it's so good to kind of push the curtain back and kind of see the industry. For what you can talk about, what in terms of purity, like what are some of the things that you feel like you've lost since you started, and basically as a result of being in the industry? What are certain things that you've experienced that have informed you like differently, and now you don't feel as pure as you once were?
Genuinely, so I feel like anyone who's been signed to like a record label, especially I am assuming in Kenya, but I feel like it could be a global thing. They're like, whenever for a release to come out, it goes through, like, there's a lot of bureaucracy. It goes through a number of people before it's actually out, like, the public space. And so what used to happen is before that release comes out, you'd get a lot of feedback, first of all, which can be a good thing. But
feedback from like the label and
the chain, And the issue is that some of the people might not be musicians; they might just be businessmen. So the beauty of that is that it gives you that perspective of people who are musicians. Like you can hear that, like a manager would say, oh, maybe this one isn't too radio friendly. Maybe, they'd say, there's some comments, okay, this is not particularly Kaka Empire, but there's some comments you'd hear like, the Mama Mboga might not understand what you're saying here, So, so the more you hear that, you might not even notice, but sometimes it informs your decision when you're writing. So you're like, that even with production, like that kick pattern is too complicated. You just want like a straight kick,
simple, exactly, something they've had before.
There's something they've had before, that they can at least feel like the song is a bit familiar in a way. And so over time, it can erode some of your creative decisions. And so it took a while for me to try and unlearn some of those things that I had been conditioned to believe would make a song a good song, And so that is actually part of the reason why I wanted to go on my own, because I wanted to experiment a bit more and just write about, anything that I feel like I want to write about, and also just create whatever instrumental I feel fits the track. Instead of the other way where you'd go and, you're just given like a generic track and, write up, and I don't know, it just didn't work for me. Yeah.
And that's interesting. I guess you could also both speak to this. So like what you've just said now, the industry tends to, once you get into a sweet spot, they want to keep you in that sweet spot because it's money, right? And the problem with that is that stifles creativity as an artist. And the only way to learn, stay in the game, we call it the game for a long time, is constant evolving and growth and becoming better at what you're doing. How are you planning? Let me say how, because it's still, COVID was just the other day as much as, how are you planning to navigate that? Because that would be a huge thing in just ensuring that you maintain yourself. Not necessarily, your art could evolve, right? But you maintain yourself. You've seen so many musicians who have stayed for 10, 15 years, and that's the next album they're doing after maybe they go quiet for a while. Next album they come back, it's a completely different thing, and the fans don't like it, but then they are sort of planning ahead. Is that something that maybe you've thought about, or maybe you want to start thinking?
I'd say for me, first off, I know I'm very big on experimenting. And I think I've said this in quite a number of rooms, even like I've told Afam and Ethan when we were working together. If there's one thing I know I'm big on, it's experimenting, because I really can't know where my boundaries are if I don't go to that edge and see what exactly is what I cannot do. And I feel like, especially for projects, for me, a version of there's people change. That's for sure. People change, and Kinoti from Heart to Heart is probably not the same Kinoti from Little Messages. There's different things I want to achieve. There's more insight I have as far as my musicality is concerned, as far as my writing is concerned. I consider myself quite a new writer.
Yeah.
So there's more skills I'm learning from more people. So I feel like with time it's bound to get different. But what I feel keeps me as me is just always staying true to why I feel I began this. Why is it that I'm writing music, and what kind of music, what message is Kinoti trying to put across? What is it that is my end goal with the music? When you listen to it, what do I want you to take away from it? I want it to be an experience. I don't want it to just be something you were like, oh, by the way, that happened.
Yeah.
It's something that I want from the beginning to the end. You can be like, yo, I felt teleported to some place and I just came back. And in sonically and just like writing, I feel like that's something I will explore as far as I can. But as long as it's true to me, I feel like that's yeah. I'd say that. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so I wanted to ask, what? So because you guys, it's been a whirlwind. It's 3 years, essentially 4 years, when everything has just blown up. What would you say is like some of the biggest things you've learned, like industry-wise? Because I can see your positioning in terms of like just streaming. You look at the playlist. You guys get like a lot of playlist push and everything. Like, how did you guys figure out that whole wide? Because our audience is mostly like younger industry people, and they want to know how do you position yourself in that sense to do well in streaming, to do well on YouTube? Like, does it just happen, or is there like a method to like the madness? I know that's kind of I feel like it's a bit of a complex question, but maybe you guys can give us some insight.
Yes, it actually is quite broad. Because I am trying to stray away from generic answers like consistency, but genuinely, that is the truth. Like, there is a lot of consistent work that goes into it. As Kinoti has mentioned, he had been doing covers before I started releasing music. I had also been doing covers kidogo, and then I started doing my own original songs, but still on Instagram.
Yeah.
So I was doing like just like 1 minute things, like short projects, and then I post that, and I'm posting that like at least every 2 weeks, but even sometimes even weekly, sometimes even more than once a week, And in that, initially it was just because I was enjoying it.
Yeah.
I didn't even care if I'm getting likes.
Yeah.
Which I wasn't getting. Oh wow. It's like, but then before you know it, you actually do start noticing that there are people who are consistently actually also following along, with your journey. And then you start getting those likes, and then you start directing that traffic to, other places. You're like, oh, guys, so I have a YouTube channel. I actually have a video on my channel where towards the end I'm saying, if you can get me to 500 subscribers, I'm never deleting that video. Never. I sometimes I just go back and I watch it. I cringe here and there, but that section fills me with so much joy, because it shows that it's very possible as long as you're putting in that work. So that is just generally the thing that I've noticed, constantly putting in that work and putting in the work. Yeah.
I'd say, especially as far as artists are concerned, I feel like performing is also quite a big part of just like converting people into actually listening to you.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's people who in these spaces, have never heard of you. Like when you come to a show, of course, there's people who are looking forward to, like, when you see a lineup, there's people you're going to listen to, and there's people you're going to experience for the first time. So I feel like putting yourself out there as far as performing is concerned is personally what I did, as alongside what Ethan said, just like consistency, because I also have just like YouTube videos of me doing covers and whatnot, just the cringest things ever. Please don't go look, please. Please,
definitely going to go check now.
Oh man, right after this.
Yeah, but I feel like what I did was just going for shows.
Yeah.
Just performing everywhere, performing those 3 or 4 songs of mine, and just like the rest of the set was covers. And people were like, "Oh, dope! Like, was any of the music there your original stuff?" It's like, "Yeah, this song and this. Dope. So maybe we could just like have a meeting or something. Nini, blah blah blah." So in those rooms, you actually never know who's watching. For example, I could even say maybe even the Sarit situation for us, we really didn't know who was there. And I feel like in that show, or in just even other shows, there's so many people who just like experience your work for the first time and are like, this is exactly what I've been looking for, to align to something that I want to do.
Yeah.
So just putting yourself out there in every aspect that you can, if it's I don't know, if it's sending out beats to people, if it's just like reaching out to people you want to work with, which is very funny because I reached out to some people in 2021 for collabs on my Heart to Heart project, and now is when they're actually seeing it and we're like, yeah, we definitely should work. So some things just do come.
How does that make you feel?
Oh, that's crazy.
Because I mean, me and Sam also go through that, where you send beats to someone and then you just get aired, but then you do something kind of nice, and then now they can't. Like, do you take that to heart, or do you just be like, that's the game. That's human nature.
Charge
I guess.
it to
So
the game.
Honestly, I then I would have taken it to heart.
Yeah.
But right now I understand, because honestly, let's say maybe you've just done a show, you have like all the reposts in the world, and I just so decided to reach out on the same day to ask for a collab. I probably might not see that message. So what that may have been, maybe it's the same situation, maybe it's not. But for me, just the fact that they didn't see that message doesn't change the fact that I wanted to work with them. Because nice. I still consider that they are dope artists, and that's why I reached out in the first place. So it doesn't matter what time span it is, as long as, first off, I still view them as dope artists. I still consider their music to be amazing, and there's still people I want to work with. My POV doesn't change. I'm just like, let's do it.
Does that happen now in the converse way, where people are reaching out to you guys to try and work? And how do you deal with it? Because sometimes it's hard to like.
How many DMs have you ignored?
Like it's hard to work with everyone. So how do you like navigate that landscape where you might have to say, well, maybe not right now, or I don't know.
That one is
difficult. It's difficult.
That one is just super tough. I
mean, okay, for me personally, like, you get hit up by like maybe like an upcoming rapper or something, or someone who's in drill, and they're like, yo, like, how can I get beats from you? And sometimes it's just like, okay,
Wait, did you say in jail?
No, drill. drill.
I'm like, a guy is from jail hitting you on Afam. This is crazy.
Listen, I have a rap out here,
right? In jail, you have a rap. Okay,
bro, for the streets, bro.
Got you.
Listen, the streets fuck with me. Anyway, but like, so I'll usually just be like, well, send me your music, and then, I mean, if not, then you just, for me personally, I used to take things too hard. Like, honestly, like when I send beats to like all these artists who I really fuck with, and then like I just get nothing. I used to take it like really badly. So I try and at least say something, because the worst thing is not being told. Like, even tell me like, maybe not right now. You know what I mean? Like, so for me, I try and at least be like, yo, we could work, but maybe not right now. At least say something.
Or you can use like for artists, you can use the example. I'm in album mode. I'm in a different space.
Channel.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I appreciate if that's a hard question to answer. Okay, so you guys, pivoting again, for me, I would say the word that links your catalogs together is love. I feel like the content you guys sing about, a lot of it revolves around love. And do you think that's a contributing factor to, like, I know Ethan worked on, I think it's the whole Heart to Heart project as producer. Like, is that what drew you guys together? And And why is love such a big topic, like for both of you guys in your music?
I didn't think you were going to serious it out. The next question I
this is a serious.
Are you in love?
No, I have a unserious question, which is
okay.
like, do the people who you write about ever reach out to you? But we'll answer that later.
Okay. First off, just to answer the first part.
Yeah.
I think looking back at our story and just like how we came to meet and how it's led up to this point, it honestly was bound to happen. Like so we met at a competition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we met at a competition at Westgate where we were competing for a guitar. Ethan won first place, I was third, and he was like, "Yo, I want to do a project. Let's work." I was like, "Dope. I have a song that I performed on that show," and he was like, "That's a really dope song, Niwe." He was like, "I have a project that I'm trying to do. Come through, let's record it." So we recorded it. The song was over, and he lost the files.
Man.
Nice. It happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. Trust.
So the project crashed or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I loved how the song turned out. So I think like 4, 5, 6 months later, I was like, I have like 6 more songs now.
Yeah.
How about like we just work on them the same way we worked on the previous one? So that's how he ended up working on the project. And just to answer the second, about love, for me, I'd say love is quite a broad thing. And I feel like we just put it in a corner. We just like we what's the word I'm
By
looking
we
for?
as human beings.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We as human beings just segment it to what we think it can be. Like we don't really dive deep to what love can be. As far as I'm concerned, there's so little detail. It's such I'd see it as a big painting that most of us as human beings are just looking at from quite afar. But like that's a beautiful piece of art as a painting. But when you get closer, just to see the fine details, the fights, I don't know, just there's so much about love for me that we really don't explore. And we just like, we say, okay, love is dope. When there's so much about it we really don't talk about, or we find too corny, too shameful, there's just so much detail about love that we really don't talk about, which for me is what I'd like to explore. Just see the 360 of what love can be and explore the corniness, the hard times, the sadness, the happiness, just all of it to really dissect what I think love to be. Yeah.
And I think that's why your fan base just really resonates with, because honestly, Sam, I think so. How about for you, Ethan?
Genuinely, I actually, if there was one word, for me, it's usually hope.
Hope.
Yeah, so
Nice.
the hope, love, the hope to find love, to, after you lose love, is it gonna get better? You're hoping it's gonna get better in your career, because I have songs that are just like trying to inspire to keep working. So it's like you're hoping the future is gonna be brighter.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that is usually what kind of encompasses the whole Ethan Muziki energy. But definitely love is, let's be honest, like love and heartbreak, that's like a multi-billion industry.
No one has ever said it like that. Yes, that's true. It's a multi-billion industry.
Because everyone relates to that.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
But yeah, so definitely you'll find people who relate, here and there, depending on the angle that you decide to approach it from.
Have you ever thought about writing about other, I don't say other topics because it's obvious, but then writing about other experiences apart from relationships and love and emotions?
Oh, just as I've said, so sometimes I also write about, ideally songs that are meant to inspire people. So songs that are meant to inspire you to keep working, to keep putting in the grind. I have a song called Tokea, which I think is like one of my favorite songs in that regard. I have written, on my album, I've written songs about my family and my problems with family and trying to be closer to my brother and sister.
Yeah.
I've written about, different, that's why I was using hope to kind of like,
Okay.
Let me see. The second question, which you can answer if you would like to, but the people who inspire some of your songs, or maybe you just write like, do you fictionalize some of your songs, or are they always based in reality?
Yeah, there's a bit of fiction sometimes.
Okay.
Because although sometimes what happens is I'd get an idea, or I'd think of a word. Let's say, let's go to something crazy. Like let's say like jealousy.
Jealousy, okay.
And then I'm just trying to imagine if I was jealous, like what would make me jealous, you know? And then now I actually even give like the personas in the songs names. So like in my album Eternal Fire, every person who's meant to signify a lady is called Sue. Okay. So there are even skits, you know, like, and then the guy is called Jack. So the whole album is around Jack and Sue.
Yeah.
But some of the stories are actually my own stories, you know, my relationship with my exes, you know, what happened, you know. But then I might just decide to, you know, like exaggerate from or
embellish a little bit.
Just a little bit, you know. So once you kind of
sprinkle some sauce in there.
Just kind of extrapolates like the whole story from a small thing.
It's interesting because that makes, because now people would, we have this thing of making celebrities feel like they're bigger than normal. So now here you are telling us that, listen, those stories are my stories, yes, but there's a lot in there that might not necessarily be my story. Yeah. But then now I, as a fan, I'm looking at that and I'm like, oh wow, you know,
everything
I now treat you like that. That's
like
a
every
dangerous
single thing is what exactly
that's
happened.
a dangerous game.
It's really
I
dangerous.
actually have never seen it that way.
It's a dangerous game.
Yeah, interesting.
How about you, Kinoti?
I'd say,
what's your experience?
well, first off, my first project was just fully me.
Okay.
It was just exactly what I was going through. That was, I don't think I even hide it. It was just my escape from heartbreak, because that's what got me to writing initially.
Sorry, man. I'm sorry that happened to you, bro.
We live, we learn. We grow as we go.
Yeah.
But but after that, I think I tried to explore a little bit more. So on some of my tracks, it's just me fictionalizing what situations would look like, and just like just as Ethan said, just putting myself in situations and me like, how would I react? I always personalize it at the end of the day. Just make it a me thing. What would I be feeling in such an instance? What would I be doing? How will I react? Yeah, but I try so much to tap into that space of me-ness, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Are there some experiences that are too personal to share even in the music? You're like, I can't.
How do you decide, right? This one.
I can't even write about this.
I've generally had a bit of those ones, but they're usually just like very heavy topics, like my mom and, you know, those ones they're aware. And there are times when I've written some songs that I even can't perform fully. So there are a few of, you know, like those instances, but most of the time I might not write exactly what happened, but I'll write about it, like just the whole situation. But I might not go into detail. Yeah, but now the detail could be shared, like maybe, you know, at a show or something. I could, you know, tell people what inspired the song, and yeah.
I feel like it's the same for me though, because especially at shows, I think what I used to do and what I try to do is just give people the actual context of what happened, especially as just make people understand exactly what was going through my mind.
You mean like that, in between songs, like
just even as I like at shows when I'm performing, just before I perform a song, I'd be like, so personally, this is what I felt about this, and this is why I wrote it, so that even as you interpret it the way you want to, at the back of your mind, you also know, just like maybe what it meant to me, so that you can attach meaning to it if you feel so. If you don't, you can always know the story behind it, because I've always wanted to know like stories behind songs and just like what they mean or how they came to be,
the artist's mind space when they're creating.
Just what was going through your mind when you wrote this. So that's something I try to give people quite a lot and be like, this is what I felt, this is what I was going through, or this is the fiction that I was just like picturing in my head.
Which you did with the when you came for the the video before. That was
the video before, and just telling us like so that's crazy.
But actually, sorry, hold on. Just based on that, do you ever feel the need to get sucked into the content game? Because now you're just talking about there's things that you keep, but these days with the internet, everything is going to be used to make me, to push me further. And then do you ever? I mean, you've sort of answered it, but is that a thing that sometimes you consider that I do want to keep this, but at the same time, I know that once this comes out, like I'm sure going to get some attention from it.
Oh, the content game.
The content game.
No, okay. Generally, there are times when I know, like, if I share this, it might, I don't know, it might maybe make whatever video I'm making go viral or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like it might give more context and maybe more people might like it. But I've always just had a problem with certain things. I just have a problem with sharing and
putting out.
The moment I feel some type of way about giving certain information, I just tend to stray away from it, because I might share and then I'll even delete the video. I'll just be like, no, I don't want to see it anymore. And which also then beats the purpose, because let's say if I was sharing it maybe for numbers and it doesn't go the way I expected.
Oh, that's the worst.
It's gonna
and you go against yourself and you're like, I don't want to do this thing, but numbers. And then the numbers don't come. You feel like a fool.
You feel terrible.
Man.
I wouldn't want to put myself in that position. How is it for you though?
I'd say one, even as I give stories, I feel like for some of them it's very reserved. I give surface stories of just enough for you to know, but not enough for you to find out, to actually just like dig deep into what exactly happened. I just give you context. I tell you this exact thing is what happened, but just from a surface point of view, so that you get context, but you really wouldn't understand exactly the 360 of the situation.
So I have a question. So when it comes to rollouts for your music or your albums or EPs, what have you found works best? Like, for example, for Ethan, remember when you dyed your hair and everything? That's a whole story in itself. Why am I doing this and everything? So it already brings conversation and everything, right? I guess I had this question because like people be doing crazy stuff for rollouts, just to bring attention to the. So what have you found works the best for you guys?
For me, right now, I feel like what we're talking about, storytelling, kind of works, especially when you can at least find a way to bring people in without them being like too deep in your business, but just at least being able to share enough information for them to also feel like they can relate to whatever you're about to release. So most of, like with my album when I was releasing it, even with singles, honestly, I try first of all to find ways to create engaging content just around the song, yes, but that can tell stories. So I don't know, I just feel like people really like stories. Even for me, there are times when I might have heard a song and then once I understand what the song was actually about, there's a different level of love that I start to attach, or even respect for the artist that I start to attach to the art. Yes, so normally that would be the angle.
You would never, I've seen like, and maybe this is an unfortunate thing, but like, I see a lot of people in general just are nosy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of the
People
things
in general.
and a lot of the things that work, like you go to all the blogs and stuff, it's always about who broke up with who and who started driving which new car and stuff like that. And for some artists, that's they live and die by that as part of their rollouts for whatever they're doing. Would you guys ever like consider doing things in like is there or rather I'd say, do you think there's any value in that in the music industry, or would you rather just be more pure and and this is about the music, it's about the music, this is what I want my fans to consume?
I'd say for me, doing it for me is a hard no, because I think personally, it takes away from what I want the music to be.
Yeah.
I I want to quote a line from a song. It said, "I let the music speak, not the publicist." So let it just do its work.
Speak. Nice.
Yeah. For me, that would be it. Just whatever I want to say will be said by the music, and I feel like it will be packaged in a way that I really don't need to have things happening around me in that respect, so that I get the music moving. Because the entire essence for me is to communicate, to have a conversation with this person through the music. Yeah. So maybe it works for people. Different people have different methods, but for me, I really don't think it would work.
It aligns with you.
Yeah.
I'm usually, I think then I'm just usually like very edgy, because I think I'd do something like with the whole hair thing. Although the hair thing was more like because of the album art.
Yeah.
So it was meant because of fire. There's a way the album art looks like. And then afterwards, now when we took photos, people were like, wow. The first photo I posted, it got a lot of interactions. It wasn't even intentional. But then now I just started taking more photos with the hair.
Played into it.
I was just like, but genuinely, the way I know myself, I feel like I do something crazy. Like, you see, like the whole Miguel thing where he had like hooks. Did you see that?
I saw the Miguel thing, But why? Why was he doing that?
I don't even know. Maybe he had the reason.
And then he was showing the scars afterwards. I was like, this is too much, man.
Listen, I understand album rollouts, but just destroying your body.
But look, here we are talking about
it. Yeah.
But is the album that good? That's what I want to find out.
Yeah, but the shock value, man.
Yeah. I think the only line that I'd have is now when it's like when you're doing things that are maybe like you're lying or it's fraudulent or like you're trying to like create a scandal.
People don't care though, it's all the same.
But everyone creates scandals
in the content game. It's all the same to that.
Fake beefs.
I think now in terms of it could be the same, but now in terms of the artist, now you have to decide how much you're willing to do.
Yeah.
Because now there's also, because you see like the artist who, yes, people actually listen to their music, but it's out of just like there's a lot of hate, can I say, around them as people,
them,
and so it's just curiosity, But the artists who do like Kendrick Lamar, when he had, I don't know if you saw this thing. Kendrick is one of my favorite artists, but he had like a thorn sort of thing.
When he went for that, which event was it?
It was an event.
It was a show.
I think it was.
No, it was a fashion show.
Yeah, fashion show. Yeah, and he had like the thorns on, and then it was a whole thing. Or when he went to, is it usually Sunday Night Live or something? And he had like black contacts, and everyone was like, "Oh, this is demonic." It's like he isn't even gonna maybe talk about it. But he isn't lying. He isn't like trying to steal from you or trying to create. He's just doing something that has a shock value. I think that I'd probably do something like that.
I think seeing it from that perspective, I feel like some of these are just like artistic choices.
Yeah.
Those I do, but as far as scandals are concerned, it's a big no, man.
Some people, but scandals can put the numbers on a different
people
level.
Have whole meetings.
What happens after
they have like a whiteboard.
Another scandal.
I don't want to be looped in the whole idea of just like scandal and then then other scandal, because I feel like it's like a domino effect of scandals. Like once you do one, you have to do quite a number.
That becomes your picture.
Yeah, that becomes you.
And then you realize that later on, I'm not getting as much engagement if I don't do this.
Yeah. And then you start,
it's so unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's so unfortunate.
Yeah. And that's the thing about music. Sometimes you can really set a precedent with your brand. Which actually, do you guys have frequent branding meetings with your teams? Like, is that a thing that you like? What's the word? Consciously, like, are really aware of and worry about, like, my brand. This is how I want people to receive me, even if it's outside of the music. Like, is that something that?
Generally not consciously, and for me at least, not intentionally. I'm usually I just wanna, to be honest, we were talking about this yesterday. Like, the music business part just usually bores me. Like, if I don't know if you know, like, this producer plus guru called Rick Rubin.
Oh, I love Rick Rubin.
You see the way he usually just has like weird clothes and the whole full beard.
Always barefoot.
And just barefoot and just vibes. Genuinely, I often see myself just living like that.
But that's his brand.
I'm not usually...
You'd be shocked to find out that he's probably sat down people in this. And he maybe one time he's like, maybe 2 years in, he's like, I really want to shave my beard. Then people are like, no,
you
this is what you're known for. And this is how you have to. So us there, we're looking at this guy's like, oh, this guy looks so chill, and he's just walking around in flip-flops, and them, they've gone and purchased that specific color of flip-flops so that they can make you feel a certain way.
But that is very possible though. That is very possible. But generally, I don't know. I have a team, and they kind of help me to realize some of these things. Like, there are things that I would generally just not do, or be unintentional with certain things. But then they'd be like, yo, always talk a show up on the mat. Like, you have to.
Oh man,
like your fans, you're there.
Your fans can see you sitting next to them.
No, but you're down to earth, man.
That's what you're thinking. But they're like, hey man, your fans,
But that's interesting. Is there an element of having to? Oh man, this is I don't know how to ask this question.
Ask the question.
Is there an element of having to not separate yourself, but also be the star or the celebrity that they've come
curate
to,
your image
that they've come to, like, be a fan of? That's I don't know. So I don't know.
I get what you're saying.
A tricky question. I'd say okay, first off, just to link this one and the previous one, I feel like I'm a very jumpy person. That one I know for sure. And I feel like there's so many things, not so many, but there's quite a number of things that I'd generally do and be very okay with, that my team would be like, Kinoti, grow up. I've had fights with Wangeshi over there, who would just
shout out to Wangeshi, by the way, for putting this together.
Yeah,
anyway,
man.
Yes.
She would call me at points and be like, Kinoti, please, no. Like, I just generally, maybe even just like be very comfortable in wearing something, and she'd be like,
really?
No, thank you. No, you can't. You can't.
Wait, even on a day-to-day basis?
No, not on a day-to-day.
Oh, okay.
But sometimes on a day-to-day. Like, if I'm in spaces where I need to be the artist, because I feel like that's what I segment. Being the artist and being me, just being generally Kinoti. I try to be. I still stay true to myself and just like build my brand around who I am, just so that I don't really have to be very, I don't know.
Not yourself.
I really don't want to be not myself.
Yeah.
So I build my brand around who I am. And there's parts of who I am that are maybe say problematic. Just a little. Not that I'm a problematic person, but I can be quite maybe.
I mean, in the like the space we're in right now, like it's so easy to be problematic because everyone is like almost looking for an issue.
Yeah.
Like recently, I really fuck with this artist called Sexy Red. Do you guys listen to Sexy Red? Ski.
Ski. I just can't stand
Hellcats, SRTs, no. Anyway, so
Thank you. Finally.
so anyway, so Sexy Red was on she was on a podcast. I think it's with Theo Vaughn or someone. Anyway, I can't remember. But she said in the hood we fuck with Donald Trump or whatever. It's a huge no because everyone loves Sexy Red, man. There's nobody who loves Sexy Red who doesn't love her right now. Like she's on top. But now she did this interview just yesterday, and now she's starting to get like some hate, and it's like, bruh, like
Fans are fickle.
but I worry about
yeah.
like an artist. Like sometimes it's like, as an artist, should you be vocal about like
Politics.
but that's the thing. Some people view it like you have this huge responsibility and you have this platform. Say something. Other people are like, yo, celebrities don't know shit. You just stay in your lane, do your thing. Don't give like your opinions because we like you because of the
We
music.
want to hear you sing.
Yeah.
Talk.
How do you guys feel about that?
Okay. I'd say if it's in my area of expertise, I'd say something. If it's within music or law, as far as it's affecting those two areas.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
On the graduation,
If it's affecting those two spaces, I feel like the responsibility is literally just like pointing a finger at me and being like, you have to say something. But if it's not in areas that directly point to me, I might be a little reserved with my opinions. I might say them, but maybe not be, I don't know. I'll just be like, okay, this is my personal opinion. I think 1, 2, 3. But if it's about fighting for an agenda, I feel like if it's in music or in law or just something that directly affects me, I feel like I will fight for agendas very strongly. Yeah.
And how do you plan to handle the cancel culture that could come with that?
Honestly, yeah, that's a whole different conversation. But I feel like there's and I feel like this happens a lot. There's moments where people, I know things can be taken out of context. That one I know for sure. So I'm okay with that happening. That for sure will happen somewhere down the line, or even just is already happening. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
That one will happen for sure. But also, what happens, or what I think could happen, is that sometimes people don't see what you see. You might be of a different vision, and you might be looking further than maybe someone else is, and you might be wrong. I know, not all prophets are true, you know. So I might have my vision, it might not align to yours. We might be viewing things from completely different lenses, but maybe I'm fighting for what I believe in. I'm just trying to push my agenda because I feel like it could help. Because the full scope of it is me trying to make, quote unquote, the world a better place, for just lack of a better word. So yeah, as long as I believe in it truly, I feel like I'd be okay with even getting cancelled, because I know that not all of us are on the same, you know. We're not all on the same side of the team. Yeah. Not everybody will agree with what I say, which is something I'm super comfortable with.
Yeah. Personally, I have a very strong personality, and I am very vocal, especially with matters politics, and even if it's not music related, there are times when I've actually talked about things and I've seen myself on blogs, and you know, let me tell you something about that I've also noticed now, also with like the general public. Sometimes some of the people that you might want to have like hard conversations with are not always online. So sometimes when you share your views online, the people that you'll find online are not people who actually even want to talk about that issue. Yeah. Even if it's affecting them directly. So you might find that the people who you would actually have conversations with, maybe they're somewhere else, they'll get online later, and then all they're seeing maybe is like stick, you're just getting stick, you're getting cooked on Twitter or whatever. So they can't even give their opinion, I'm assuming. But despite that, I am still extremely vocal when it comes to issues that affect the human race, especially my country people. Because I've noticed even with issues that are not music related, they still affect me greatly, especially political things. Like the time, the whole Mandamano time, I couldn't go for rehearsals. I couldn't even ask my band, like, how to meet for rehearsals, you know.
Definitely.
Those I'm wasting hours, you know. And so whatever issues I'm facing, I think the part that I agree now is as long as I feel strongly about it, I will talk about it.
Yeah.
If there are certain things where I'm not too sure, so it's actually it's a problem, but I'm not too sure which side I lean on, then I would refrain from talking about it. Because now if I say something and then later on I have to change my opinion, I'd feel like I should have waited until I was a bit sure.
Yeah.
So now even if I change, at least I was sure then.
Yes.
You know. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I have one final question from me. This is an interesting question. You're not supposed to preface your question as being interesting. Anyway.
Yeah, switch your question up to that.
Would you guys consider yourselves mainstream?
Interesting question.
It actually is interesting. We'll give you that.
Personally. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't think so.
Okay.
Only because I'm actually trying to shift the goalpost. Initially, when I was starting, I was looking at it as there's a space here that's mainstream.
Yeah.
And then we're trying to get there. And at that mainstream tier, there are like many people that I can get to who can consume my music. And then it would lead up to me getting shows and deals.
Endorsements.
And but now I'm noticing I don't even need to get to that tier of mainstream. I can create communities right now. So I created my community, and they're called Eternals. And now what happens is once artists start having their communities, these are people that you're sure will consume your music.
Yeah.
Diligently. Like you release a song and they're already there commenting. Even before you release, they're there like hyping you up, giving you psych. And so what happens is you can now even experiment, because with mainstream comes that whole thing about like you need to kind of also like make your music easy to consume, you know. But now I can experiment and they'd still listen, they still want to come for the shows. I can do like a slow song. Generally with mainstream,
you have more freedom.
You don't have that much freedom as you'd have when you're, you know, when you're not trying to chase that. Yeah, so I feel like it's like the goalposts would shift in a way that we're creating our communities here, and then the people who like the corporates and the shows, we're creating our own shows now. The corporates are coming now because we have people, and so it seems as if we would end up being mainstream without really
being mainstream.
Being mainstream.
Oh, that's very interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. And I think we were having a conversation about this yesterday, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
We were.
We talk.
You guys have a lot of conversations.
We have quite lengthy conversations.
Yeah.
And I think we're of a very similar mindset.
Yeah.
Just as you said, communities, I feel like communities really do work.
Yeah.
Cause man, this is why now the scandals thing wouldn't work for me. Just because I think building a community is making people understand each other, making people be in a space where they feel like you are one of them.
Yeah.
When truly you are there because you genuinely enjoy their company, you genuinely enjoy being there with them, they genuinely enjoy what you do. It's just a proper interaction of like-minded people.
Yeah.
And that's what I think both Ethan and I are trying to do. And just what he said, man, shifting the goalpost, I think is probably the best way to explain it, because eventually I don't consider us mainstream per se, but I feel like our communities would make.
Would make
us
because now
mainstream.
like with the radio and TV, now like our fans would start request. Okay, not that I would start like request those songs. Even without the fans requesting, you'd find the radios now would want to play the songs because there are people who actually listening and they love that. So it's very odd. It's not that I don't even know now.
Because you don't consider yourself that way, but
people
might see you
it
that way.
tend to look like we are mainstream.
Yeah, should the goalpost shift, we ideally would be mainstream.
I guess so.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I guess my question is what do you guys have coming up?
Yeah, I mean, the
Because
show
if I was
the
to ask,
20th.
there's
Ask the question.
No, there's too many. I love picking to the minds of artists, and we'll sit here till 6 p.m.
Please
It's not
ask.
going to work.
Okay, ask that at least.
No, it's fine. I'll make my inferences from what you've from what you talked about. We could just talk about I guess what you have coming up.
Yeah.
So right now we actually have a show coming up on the 20th
Another one
of
ready to be
October.
shut down. Kicked out of the venue.
No.
This one, no. This one we
If you
have.
shut this one down.
This one we how it's going. We're definitely going to sell out, but we have definitely thought about everyone, and we have made sure that like everyone everything that is needed is going to be facilitated and all of that. And so we're very intentional with this show. It's on the 20th of October, KICC.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I don't know if we can give them the exclusive right now.
Can we?
Oh shit, we're gonna get an exclusive. Let's go.
But
I say you can.
Kin and I
we all picked nervously.
Okay. Kin and I have a song
coming out.
together, and not just a song, but a project.
A
but
whole
later,
project, man.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay.
It should be coming out soon.
Go.
Yeah, so we're super excited for that.
How soon is soon?
Real soon, man.
Especially for the
real
first
soon.
single, it's
The
extremely
first,
soon.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
First single is like super soon. So keep your ears peeled.
Definitely keeping that peeled,
just to take us back, man, we decided to curate this ourselves.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just to make sure that with the knowledge we had from just all the situations that happened so far, just make this as a wholesome experience as possible, and just make it one to remember. Yeah, just something that people will actually be like, you know what, I want to go for echoes again. I really want it to happen again, because I don't think I've experienced something of that sort. And even the way we're approaching it as far as the performance is concerned, I feel is something we haven't seen. We haven't seen. So I'm super excited for people to get to see that. It's going to be crazy. Yeah.
Fire. Well, thank you for the exclusive. I believe that's the first exclusive we've ever had on the 30% podcast.
And I like what you said, because I think the future, just to bring it to the local industry, I think we tend to do the same things that work over and over again, right? And now I feel like there's just, with you two included, there's a new crop of artists who are like, you know what, I'm going to do things my way, I'm going to do things differently. And it's just so good to see, because those are part of the things that start painting a new picture for the industry, which we so desperately need, if I'm being honest with you. Hey, look at all of them, they both side. Like, oh my goodness, let's not get started. Don't worry, we'll save that for another day, but yeah.
For another day. Okay.
Cool. Looking forward to the show though. Looking forward to the show for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So usually we like to have some music played. And since you guys are a guest, if you guys have anything you wanna play, feel free.
Something, it could be your song, it could be another, but just keep it
as long
local.
as it's Kenyan.
Just keep it local.
Yeah.
Kenyan. Okay.
It could also be your song by day. You can just say, yo.
Listen, I'm putting myself on.
Yeah, I'm putting myself on.
But currently, I am listening to this song. You remember the song I played you, Nakupenda by Rateng?
Yeah.
So if you can get that song and play that, would
we
be
can, for sure,
beautiful.
for sure.
Yeah.
Nakupenda by
Rateng.
Rateng.
Yeah.
So here's Nakupenda by Rateng.
nakupenda, hey yanga. Nani kama wewe, hey ya, oh. Penzi wangu nakupenda, hey yanga. Nani kama wewe, hey ya, oh. Penzi wangu nakupenda, hey yanga. Nani kama wewe, hey ya, oh.
So that was Nakupenda by Rateng. So I Kinoti also wanted to play something.
Funny enough, it's a song that Ethan produced. It's by Zealani. It's called Promise. Such a dope song. Promise by Zealani.
Feel like I've been on a roller coaster, up and down running for ya, forgetting things that I already told ya. Always in Goja, but I'm in Soja. And I thought I already told ya that you were my one desire. When the night gets colder, we still have this fire. Checky vile tuna shine, oh mama, baby juu ya we na mimi. Asiri zetu sisi tu wawili, uliniahidi, yeah. And I still can't believe that you're mine, oh mama, baby ninakuamini, juu binadamu ni we na mimi. Nilikuahidi, yes I know, but on my life I would swear I would never do you wrong. But we both know better, we deserve forever now. Hold me closer, closer, and baby make me yours. I'm trying to find my way back home. I know you've been hurting mama, yeah. Cause all these promises are broken down, broken love. We're only human, Nakupenda now. Imako chunya jaherana, maji yashazoleka, tumeponea. Cheki vile tuna shine, oh mama, baby juu ya we na mimi. Asiri zetu sisi tu wawili, uliniahidi, yeah. And I still can't believe you're this fine, oh mama, baby ninakuamini, juu binadamu ni we na mimi. Nilikuahidi, yes I know, but on my life I would swear I would never do you wrong. But we both know better, we deserve forever now. Hold me closer, closer, and baby make me yours. I'm trying to find my way back home. And baby, can we slow down now? Lately I've been feeling so worn out. All these promises are heavy, too heavy, been weighing me down. You know everything I know right now. I don't wanna say no goodbye, love. Tukivunja ni kwa heri, aheri, yeah. But on my life I would swear I would never do you wrong. But we both know better, we deserve forever now. Hold me closer, closer, and baby make me yours. I'm trying to find my way back home.
So that was Promise by Zealani. Thank you guys so much for coming through.
Thank you for having us.
This was a really dope conversation, man. Honestly, just loved hearing both of you guys' perspective.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah, and I want to say shout out to Wangeshi. She's in the room with us right now.
Being silent in the corner.
Being very silent.
I'm pretty sure she's back there giving you guys looks like you dare not.
Yeah, no, shout out to her, like, for, just putting this together. Honestly, you guys are the first artists that we've actually had on this platform, which is really, really
That's
dope.
cool, man.
So thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for gracing us. And yeah, man, I have to mention, we are still trying to, get this People's Choice Awards thing. We were actually,
Look at how you said that. We're still trying to get the award.
Okay, let me try. Let me do it again. Let me
try again, please. Thank you.
So,
we were nominated for the.
essentially, we were nominated for Podcast of the Year for People's Choice Awards. So it would be really dope if you guys voted for us.
Yeah.
And thank you guys so much for always listening and fucking with the boys. You can listen to us on all the streaming platforms, and you can find us on all the internet platforms aside from Facebook. And
because Facebook is dead.
Facebook is dead. And I barely say this anymore, but we started this platform because we want to hear more Kenyan music being played, and we believe that Ethan and Kinoti are people who are taking this culture somewhere amazing.
Let's go.
And we're gonna get that number significantly up on the radio from 30%. That was episode 46. And thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll catch you on episode 47.
7.